Welcome back to another hunting video, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. Today we're going to be going over camouflage, calls, and scent lures. Before we dive into all of that, it's important to understand the animal that we're hunting. For me, it's whitetail deer. Now, deer see in the ultraviolet light spectrum. It's hard to say whether they can see yellow or not, but we know for sure that they can see the ultraviolet. Blues, anything with blues stands out to them compared to being red-green colorblind like any other human. They can't decipher red from green or green from brown, red from brown. It's all shades of gray to them, or one giant blur or blob. But blues, for some reason, blues stick out to whitetail like blaze orange sticks out to hunters. We can see it very vibrantly and very clearly, much like deer see blue. Why? Because deer have 20/100 vision, and they have more cones behind their eyes than what the humans have. They can see greater distances, they can smell greater distances, and they can hear greater distances versus what us hunters can do. With that, we dive into different styles of camouflage. There's the woodland camo, there's team realtree, there's mossy oak, there's all kinds of camouflage. And depending on the area that you are hunting, you want to make sure that your camouflage fits the environment. You don't want to go out into a heavily wooded area wearing white. White reflects light and it shines back at them. Much like when, you're traveling down the road, some back road or some highway at night, and your headlights catch a deer standing in the road. It blinds them temporarily and it almost stuns them to the point where they can't move because it's a bright light. Deer also see better just as the sun is rising and just before the sun is going down. So with that, again, it is very cautious that hunters must choose the proper camouflage for their environment and the deer's habitat or whatever animal it is you are hunting. You must understand your prey and the animal that you are hunting, especially their visual acuities, their hearing, and their sense of smell in order to be a better hunter. Now, with that being said, we're going to dive right into some of the equipment and some of the gear and hunting gear that I have used and some of the brand names that I have trusted over the years. First and foremost, with whitetail deer, you can use plastic antlers. I don't, because to me they don't simulate the real authentic sound as natural antlers. More realistic, the better. And yeah, he would have been a good buck. He was a good buck. So then we go right into camouflage. And I have here from Mossy Oak this nice light, weatherproof, but it's warm and it keeps me warm, but at the same time, with it being lightweight, it doesn't allow me to sweat as much. And scent is another great thing. You always want to make sure that when you're doing your off season, you have your camouflage airing out. You don't, if you get scent killer for the washer and dryer, that's great, but you're still, that the washers and the dryers still hold the scent from your natural everyday normal detergents, fabric softeners, and what have you. For me, it is always best to take regular water, a garden hose, hang them out on the line, spray them down with water, really soak them, and then let them sit out in the sunlight day in, day out, every night, and let them air dry. The other thing that I like to do with my camouflage is, after it's been soaking, I take real grass, I take real dirt, and I cover my camouflage in that natural earth scent to try and mask the scent that is on this. Because as humans, we sweat from our armpits, our neck, forehead, our backs, show everywhere. because we're humans. We're a very complex organism and a very complex species. We have millions of pores across our skin. We sweat. We perspirate. All of this, even me just touching this right now, is leaving some kind of odor that is detectable to whitetail. So when you are out handling your camouflage, once you have it sprayed down with water, you have your natural earth scent on there, leave it. You can use natural, you can use scent killer sprays, which work great. If you're going out and buying new camouflage, you want to use a UV spray and really douse your camouflage head to toe, every area. Do not, it's vital that you even get the armpits, around the neck, your asshole, your crotch, any place that is going to really, really sweat and have that odor, that human scent. So as it is hanging dry, again, really cover, really, really, really douse it. Don't be afraid to go hog wild with the scent killer UV sprays, because it dulls the scent. It eliminates that scent for a reason, because then deer will not be able to smell you. And again, with their ultraviolet eyesight, being able to see that ultraviolet, new clothes, doesn't matter what it is, it has that UV in it, and they can detect that. Again, deer see blue like we see this orange hat. Now, again, camouflage is very important depending on where you're hunting and what you're trying to hunt. It helps break up the human silhouette. It helps break up your human form, so that way you are less recognizable to a deer. Right now, if I were to go out in the woods, I might as well be having a neon sign around my neck saying hunter, human, because that is what a deer is going to see based on what I am wearing and the fact that my skin is shiny. I'm shiny no matter what. I want to do something to eliminate that, to allow me to be a more better predator to hunt. So again, your gear, your camouflage. Now this is a nice little hand muff that I've got over the years. I don't remember where I got it from, and I don't really care. But it's nice because I can put it around my waist and I'm right there. I can keep my hands nice and warm. I've got this nice little zipper pouch right here with another little zipper right on the inside that I can put all my calls in. I can put little stuff in this to make my movements less noticeable. The less you move, now every bow hunter should know this, whether you're new or old, here it is. The less movement you make, the less sound, the less noise, the less smell, the better. You don't want to be out there moving around, swatting away at mosquitoes, moving around, because deer are going to pick up on that like that. The less movement, the better. Now, during the early seasons in September here in Wisconsin, something like this really isn't going to be useful. This is for more colder situations. So we just tuck that away. We have here the habitat through real tree camouflage that has that scent factor. This is one of my favorite shirts because it's heavy, but it's also lightweight enough to where I can wear it. I'm going to be warm, but I'm not going to be too warm where I'm going to sweat. But I'm not going to be cold where I'm going to be shivering and I'm going to be needing to move around just to try and stay warm. Gloves especially, again, your hands, your feet, your body is going to be moving around, especially when you're trying to look around for deer. The slower you move, the better. Remember, deer have 2100 vision. When you think they can't see you, you're wrong. They will see you. The slightest movement out of their natural habitat is going to spook them, and you're going to lose your prey. They are going to run. Again, I wear orange. I at least wear an orange hat while bow hunting because some hunters just are fucking morons where they cannot decipher a hunter in camouflage from a deer, especially at a greater distance. And especially now that crossbows are in effect, some hunters are going for that 80 to 100 yard shot to try and get a deer. The orange hat obviously is a safety reason because it distinguishes me from an animal. I want to be able to come back from my hunts. I want to be able to come back to my family safe and sound with no injuries, much like I'd rather see you guys coming back from your hunts safe and sound to your families. Try to do something to eliminate the UV color in this, but they cannot see orange. They cannot distinguish orange from the green. So again, do something, get that UV spray, eliminate the UV, get the scent killer, especially with your hats. Really spray the hats with the scent killer because this is going to absorb a lot of moisture and a lot of sweat, something that needs to be avoided. Now, the other thing that a lot of people get mistaken for are your boots. Now, these are the Tingley Pilot rubber boots. They come about just below the knee. They're lightweight. They're not steel toe. But the thing is, they're not insulated. So during the winter time, my feet, especially my toes, are going to freeze and I am going to be miserable. Have I been in previous situations where my feet and my toes got cold first? Now my body is getting cold. Now I'm miserable and I want to leave the woods. You want something that is lightweight but insulated. Stay away from leather. Remember, hunters, if you can smell it, the deer can smell it better. If you can see it, the deer can see it better, just not as clearly. If you can hear it, the deer can hear it even better. Then we go into, again, another one of my favorite calls, especially during the rut, which is between the first full moon of October and the first full moon of November. We have the Primos long can here. Now, there we go. Kind of crappy, but it's supposed to simulate the more natural sounds that a doe would make during the rut, which us hunters normally don't hear, but it does work. Same thing with fawn bleats, grunt calls, and again, rattling antlers. You want a more natural sound, but you need to do it at the correct time that is going to simulate when it is going to be appropriate for the fawn, the buck, or the doe to be making those sounds. And again, we go back into the face. Face masks, something to eliminate that human outline. Now, I understand that this has that bit of a Hannibal Lecter look to it, but I got this at Walmart one year, and it's been great. The polystyrene face mask is very breathable, very lightweight. It has the Velcro strap on the back so I can adjust it accordingly. It's got the nice nose piece to go over my nose to allow me to breathe in and out, but it still allows me to use my mouth, and it has the nice holes here on the side that allow me to still be able to hear. Along with a lot of other things too, a lot of other hunters make this mistake. A pair of socks. More than one pair in your hunting bin. Same thing with underwear. You don't want to be using what you wear on a day-to-day basis at home or at work to be mixed with your hunting stuff because it still mixes with that scent and the deer are still going to pick it up. Get a fresh pair of socks, fresh pair of underwear. Treat it the same way you would with camouflage by utilizing that scent killer and just spraying it. Again, you want your camouflage and the clothes you are going to be wearing out hunting to be soaking wet with the scent killer in the off season when you are treating your camouflage and your hunting clothes and your gear. Anything your hands are going to be touching, you want and need to spray with good scent killer. Now, again, ticks, mosquitoes, chiggers, whatever, mites. Obviously, bug spray is a big thing, but there's different kinds. You have the Repel, you have DEET, you have all these canned stuff, or you have the Thermacell, which has these nice little canisters at the bottom here that are filled with, you know, what they're supposed to be. I don't know exactly. I don't do, but oh, and it just kicked on. But it also has these nice little wafers that you can keep with you and store somewhere on you or even in your stand, in your blind. You turn on and it's going to repel mosquitoes or whatever the case may be. I prefer the traditional method by going with sprays because it's going to work a little bit easier. You're going to have that oiliness, but it's going to help keep everything off, and it's going to keep you from itching, scratching, and, and it's going to help avoid those unnecessary movements. Again, unnecessary movements, sounds, and scents. Eliminate those as much as possible. Again, we go into face masks. You want something that's going to be lightweight, breathable, but you want something that's going to keep you warm and keep you comfortable. That is the biggest thing, comfort while out hunting. The more comfortable you are, the longer you're going to be able to sit, and the more the chances of getting a deer or whatever animal it is you're hunting are going to increase versus decrease. We want successful hunts. We want good hunts. We want to make memories with those we are out hunting with. We don't want to be miserable. We don't want to be cold and shivering and just, no, we don't want that. Again, gloves. Gloves are important. You want the lightweight, you want thin, but you want something insulated. The biggest thing is to keep whatever hand you are shooting with, whether you're drawing back, your release, that trigger finger. You want to keep your trigger finger nice, warm, and comfortable, but still be able to access the trigger, whether it's on the rifle, the crossbow, or even your release. Whatever the case may be, your trigger finger and your glove have to be able to fit within that trigger guard and be able to use and operate your trigger on the release, the rifle, or the crossbow with maximum effectiveness. Now we're going to dive right into scents. Scent lures, scent covers, scent killer, scent cover. The scent killers come with either the odorless formula, the autumn formula, whatever the case may be. It depends on the time of the season and during what time of the year you're using this. If you're in October, November, you're going to want to use something more subtle like an autumn scent killer or an autumn scent cover. If you're hunting in a piney area, pine. If you're hunting just a basic wooded area with maple, oak, beech nut, birch, just your standard scent killer is going to do. You don't have to go overboard and get the most expensive scent killer. There's no need. Again, I use basic dirt. I wet the dirt down and make mud, and I put my clothes into it because it's a more natural scent. Now, especially during the rut and during the off season, the non-estrus doe lures I've had plenty of success with, especially in the past few years, especially last year, where the non-estrus doe urine actually drew more deer in for me to provide a more close shot. Because as a bow hunter, I need to draw them deer in closer to that comfortable, effective range. For me, that range is no greater than 40 yards. You look it up. Go on to Google. Go ahead. Prove me wrong. Go on to Google. Google search what is the effective kill range for a crossbow and a compound, a traditional vertical compound, and they'll tell you 40 yards. Doesn't mean that the 60-yard shots won't work, the 80 yards, the 100 yards. If you're out practicing at those distances, you're going to be effective at those distances. For me, 20 to 40 yards, that's my effective kill range because I know where the vitals are going to be and I can make my adjustments accordingly. Now, over the years, I've also used Tinks. Tinks non-estrus doe lure, Tinks dominant buck lure, Tinks estrus doe urine. It's all great, it's all wonderful, but the problem that a lot of hunters overlook is the fact that these products are overproduced. They're mass produced because they're in high demand by us hunters. But the problem is, like with me, if you're out hunting public land, then you're mixing a non-estrus doe urine with somebody who could be using a different brand that's a more chemical produced versus something that's an authentic. If you want something, and here's the trick, here's the tip. If you want a real effective scent lure for doe, go out, get yourself a doe during the early season, and take the urine straight from the bladder and put it in your vials, put it in your glass containers, and store it away someplace that's not too hot, not too cool, not too damp, not too dry, because that is a more natural deer scent. The urine straight from a bladder. Now, what about the rut? The deer have tarsal glands on the back of their knees that what they do is they squeeze their knees together like they're squatting, and they piss on them tarsal glands in the scrapes that the bucks make during the season. This tells the buck, hey, I'm ready to breed. When a doe smells that, she does the same thing and she mimics the same behavior, and she pisses in on her tarsal glands in that scrape, telling the buck, hey, look, I'm ready to breed. What you do is, if you want to create that natural 100% pure doe and dominant buck lures, you take the tarsal glands from the deer, put your gloves on, latex, scent free. You take them tarsal glands and you cut them off and you put them in a baggie. You take the urine from the bladder and you cut the hairs off the tarsal glands. You do what you can with those tarsal glands and you mix it with the urine. And again, store it in a place that's not too cool, not too damp, not too dry, not too wet, and you save it. There is your 100% rut scent cover and scent lure. 100% straight from the buck, 100% straight from the doe. Guaranteed to work. Now you can also go out and get these nice little capsules that open up and the wind goes through all these nice little holes right there, and it catches that scent. You can hang these little fuckers right from the tree just like this, hang it right from the branch, right up in your stand, right in your ground blind or down low, whatever the case may be. But you can hang these from the tree and it allows you to see where your distance is, but it also catches that scent and it pushes it with the wind. Use the wind to your advantage. That's why we have the scent cover. That's why we have the scent lures. Use the wind. Let the wind do its job by catching the scent cover and the scent lure that you're trying to use and pushing it out towards the deer. Now, another great thing, you can even go out and get these little guys. We've all seen these before. A lot of hunters have used these before. They work great. But again, they're white. Now this one, that's mine. You know, it's dull, it's used, but it's going to work because of that. But I hang it right where I need to, and the wind's gonna catch that scent that's on this, and it's gonna draw them deer in. Go ahead, laugh. It's a baby bottle. But this is another effective tool that I like to use that I keep with me at all times, because I can open it, I can fill it with how much ever scent cover I'm using or scent lure that I'm using, like for instance, again, the non-estrus doe urine. And what I can do is I can go through, squirt, 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 and I can create that trail. I can put it on my boots and it's going to drip on my boots. And as I'm walking into my stand, it's going to make that mock trail. It's going to mimic an actual deer stopping, taking a piss, and walking. And it's going to cover my scent as I'm walking in, because I want deer to be comfortable. I want them to be very comfortable and not know that a hunter is around. So I'm going to use what I can. This was a great tip. This was a great trick. The other thing I like to use are these nice little reflective strips here. Now these are great, especially if you're out hunting public land or even private land, because you can hang them anywhere, and with a flashlight or headlamp, it's going to reflect that light, and it's going to allow you to be able to find where your stand is, or even during the day. Judge your distance. If you're comfortable at shooting 20 yards, you clip it right at the tree where you know 20 yards is going to be. And once you see a deer walk past this and into that 20-yard mark, you're good to shoot. I also like to hang these on me, because sometimes hunters don't see it. But when they shine their flashlight, they're going to see it. The other thing is vanilla. It's a warming, calming scent. But you got to get out early around February, March, when the snow is starting to melt, especially here in Wisconsin, and put that scent out there. Right about now, less than 90 days away. It's too late to do anything woods wise. It's too late to go out and plant feed. It's too late to go out and do scent lures, scouting. All that has to be done before 90 days before your season opens, especially if you're hunting public land. Too much human influence, too much human interaction where these deer are comfortable is going to push them away from that area. Now, I understand a lot of people hunt private. There's nothing wrong with it if you have them deer comfortable with you. But if you're hunting out of a ground blind on public land, the deer are going to see the outline of that ground blind unless you tuck it away inside some brush. They're going to see that outline and they're going to see the movement within and they're going to get spooked. We don't want that. We want them to be comfortable with us. That's why for me, I use climbers and I use ladder stands or lock-on stands to get above the grass line and way above the grass. Especially with climbers, I love my climber because I can get 15, 20 feet up in the air and I'm good to go. I'm all good to go. But you don't want to be sitting on the ground because to me, I'm too exposed. Sitting on the ground like I am right now, I'm too exposed to a deer. I want to be able to blend in with my surroundings. Again, just because I'm high up does not mean that the deer cannot see me or my movements. But that's why I have to make sure that my movements are nice, slow, and steady to where they can barely see it. Almost like a wind in the, just like a branch in the breeze. That's all it's got to be. Nice, fluid, steady, confident is what it takes. You need to build up your confidence. You need to build up your strength, your endurance, your patience, and your discipline. People need to stay out longer. Deer drives. Again, I encourage a lot of people, if you've got kids and you're hunting, take your kids out hunting, especially during the gun season, with safety, with a lot of safety in this, and you have them do them deer drives. Go out, have your kids scream their head off running through those tall grasses because they're gonna push the deer. Now, I understand, again, with COVID, a lot of people don't want to go out hunting. I don't see why they wouldn't want to go out hunting. You're isolated from everybody else. You're away from everybody else. You're not enclosed with everybody else. Hunting is a great lifestyle. It's very healthy. You have to carry your weight. You have to drag deer out. You really want to find out how in shape you are? Try dragging out 150 to 250 pound whitetail deer dead. I guarantee you'll find out real quick exactly just how in shape you are. Now, I've been hunting since the age of 12, but I would go at the age of 7 up to 12. I would go out with my dad. From the age of 12 all the way up till now at the age of 31. I have been actively deer hunting with my father because it's been a tradition. His grandfather taught his dad. My grandfather taught my dad. My dad taught me. All of this because of, well, it's family. But I also owe a lot of my hunting knowledge and what I know from hunting thanks to Ted Nugent, Fred Bear, Bill Jordan's Team Realtree, Jackie Bushman's Buckmasters. All of these people have been a great impact and a great influence on me hunting. And again, it's something that right now I want to take the time. I'm taking the time to go through what I have with you guys. So again, go out at this time, get your camouflage, get your UV killing spray, get your scent killers, take care of your camouflage. Once it's done and taken care of, store it away where you're not going to touch it, where no scent is going to get at it. Leave it outside, leave it in a garage, but leave it in an airtight container or vacuum sealed bag, but something that is not going to have scent constantly coming in. We do not want our camouflage contaminated for opening morning of bow season. Be comfortable. When you're out shooting your bows, your crossbows, or your rifles, take the time before you do your camouflage or your hunting clothes and practice with it all on. It makes a great, great deal of importance between practicing without and with your camouflage or your blaze of orange on. I'm telling you, practice with practice without. The more you practice and the more you put in, the more you're going to receive from this great planet that has taken care of us for generations, for eons, for centuries. We have been given this planet and given charge of this planet to be its caretaker, to take care of the animals that we hunt over, to make sure that the population of the animals we are hunting are in a good, healthy, and stable number. Without it, where's the food? Where's the fun? Where's the passion? Where is hunting without that practice, without taking care of the land? But again, during those 90 days before your season opens, the less interference you have on the wild and the more time you spend at home practicing or at the range practicing, the more it's going to pay off in the end. So with that being said, and again, I smoke with scents. Once your camouflage is done, once you have it on and you're out hunting, no smoking, no scented tampons. Ladies, I know some of you are using scented tampons. Quit that shit. Knock it off. Scented shampoos and conditioners, body washes, deodorants. Get rid of that during your hunting season and switch to that scent killer to eliminate your human scent, and do what you can to eliminate your human outline. Again, the less movements you have to make, the better. The warmer and the more comfortable you are, the better. The less the deer can see, the less the deer can hear, and the less they can smell, the better you are. You need to be the highest conscientious, most alert predator in the woods versus anything else. The better you are and the more you practice, the more it's going to pay off, folks. I cannot stress that enough. Practice, practice, practice. Until then, hey, anything's possible. But until then, have fun, enjoy it, make memories, because that's essentially what this is about. Memories. You don't need to go out and shoot, a good buck to have good memories. It's the people you spend the time with hunting with that make the memories. The trophy is in the eye of the beholder. I've shot plenty of deer that I have been happy and content with. I have shot numerous small bucks before that I've been happy and content with. The trophy is in the eyes of the beholder. Yes, big bucks are great. Small ones are great too. There's nothing wrong with shooting a small inferior buck to keep the herd healthy. Until then, keep the spirit of the wild alive, keep the campfire rolling. Hell, save me a spot. I'll enjoy some backstraps with you. I don't care. Maybe even after a good adventurous hunt and a successful hunt, maybe we can share a drink. Until then, folks, stay tuned for more. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Hey, hell, go ahead and leave me a comment. I will comment back. If you want to see something, go ahead. Ask in the comments. Make a request in the comments of what you would like to see next on the next video. For the next video, I'm going to be diving into shooting from a ladder stand with my old Dart and Apache compound, as well as the Centerpoint Sniper Elite 385 crossbow once more. With that, folks, have fun and enjoy it. Thanks for coming by.